What's up, guys? Quick little comic video haul, comic haul, some kind of haul. Uh, Show you guys some books I picked up recently. A lot of these I just picked up today, and I got some decent stuff. You know, some pretty cool stuff. Didn't spend a whole lot of money. Let's see what I got. Alright, so let me show you that second. Let me show you, I went to a couple of places today. First spot I went to was, I went to Greg's Comics. I speak of Greg's quite often. And I was really on the search for issue number 4 of Crownsville. Apparently, that book, you know, didn't sell very well. I'm starting to, you know, figure out this comic book thing and stores ordering books or whatnot. And from what I could gather, that book didn't really sell. So a lot of shops just stopped carrying them after maybe the first couple of issues. So stores where I had picked it up before didn't have them anymore. So it was kind of hard. You know, I pick up all the Rodney Barnes stuff. It's a 5-issue run. So Dreadnought never carried it in the first place. I believe Samurai may have carried it in the beginning, but stopped carrying it at all. Who else did I hit? I was surprised that Greg's didn't have it at all. Now, I don't know if they sold out or if they just didn't get it at all, but they didn't have any issues, but they did, you know, they had a bunch of number 1s and I think maybe a couple of number 2s, and they had one, oh no, they didn't have any. Yeah, they didn't have any number 4s, but they had some number 1s and I think 1 or 2 number 2s. So if, you know, I don't think they sold very much there. I'm guessing that they didn't order any at all. So I was just like, oh, there's only a couple more places that I can check. But I haven't made it to those places yet. Anyway, let me show you what I did pick up at Greg's. I did pick up issue number 4 of American Caper, book I've been following. I have yet to start reading this book, but hey, I have it. I decided to see what all the hype was about because, and this is what I mean by that, like, apparently Absolute Batman was like the best-selling book, the best-selling series of 2025. And I showed you how I picked up the second printing of Absolute Batman Annual number 1. I did pick up another copy in case I want to share this with somebody. And I think the theme of this book, I'm actually going to do a theme or a video exclusively on that theme. You guys know what the theme is. That's a video coming one day. But I picked up another copy of this. But I wanted to know the hype. I've said before I don't mess with, you know, the newer DC stuff or Marvel. When I say newer, I mean anything after, I don't know, 1995. You know, anything after that. So, but all of this hype, I wanted to see what the hype was. So I picked up, you know, Absolute Batman number 1. I don't know what pressing. This might be the 20th pressing for all I know. I don't even know how to tell what pressing it is, but it's certainly not the first one. Anyway, I kind of flipped through this. I picked this up. Where did I get this? Oh yeah, I got this at Greg's, and I definitely can dig the artwork. And the thing about these Batman in this book is as gruesome as I wish they would have made him on some of those movies that he did. Whatever. What are you going to do? Anyway, so that's what I paid pretty much full price for. But I also, this is what I got out of the dollar boxes no, I'm sorry. This is what I got out of the 50-cent boxes at Greg's Comics. So I got issue number 4 of Fly, and I'm not familiar with any of these books. Issue number 6? No, issue number 5 of Fly. And once again, all I needed, the 2 rules for me picking up books out of their 50-cent boxes is, number 1, it's got to be, for the most part, it's got to be non-hero, and I have to dig the art. So all of these books pass that test. This is a book from Aftershock, Undone by Blood. What's one I picked up? Oh, this one, I had to pick this up. I'm definitely going to pass this along to someone. This is from Vertigo DC. This is issue number 8 of the Crusaders. And the reason why I picked this one up is because it is a Richard Corbin cover. You can recognize that art right away if you know Corbin's work. I'm gonna soon be doing a Corbin claim video, and those claim videos I've done in the past have done pretty good. So somebody that buys something, I'll probably throw in, this book or something like it. I have a nice little stack of books that they're not high in value in any sense of the word, but they are cool to have if you are a Corbin fan. This was one from Boom, issue number 1 of Sirens of the City. Got the gothic looking sister on the front. From Black Mass, issue number 1 of Liberator, Earth Crisis. I didn't go crazy in the 50-cent bins, like I normally do over there. I've been over there pretty regularly over the last 3 months or so. So I've been picking through that stuff pretty good. Plus, I have so much stuff, many books I pulled out of there already I haven't even touched yet. Issue number 4 of Dead Day. That was a cool one. Oh, this book I am going to save for another video, so I'm not even going to show you that one. Here's a book called Saint Mercy, number 1. And that looks like an Image book right there. I believe I showed you some issues of Stillwater in the past. This is issue number 5. Where's my other one like this? Okay, so I've been collecting Farmhand from Image because I'm such a big fan of the Chew book. So I'm going to see how that goes. And this looked pretty interesting. This is from Thunder Comics. I've never heard of Thunder. And this is issue number 1 of Never Wars. Yeah, it's exactly what it looks like. That's what the book is about. Digging the artwork in there. I figured I'd give that one a try. It's 50 cents. Why not? Here's one I'll read and probably pass on. This is issue number 2 of Blood Type. They have so many horror books in those 50-cent boxes. Most of those boxes are like older books. It could be anywhere from the 70s all the way up until, 70s, 80s, 90s stuff. And then I would say maybe 1/3 to 1/4 of those 50-cent books are like brand new books like this. And when I say brand new, I'm saying last 5, 6, 7 years in there. Another book I picked up, I believe I showed you some issue out of here. This is issue number 1 of West of Sundown. And what's that? Then I look up on the wall and I see these 2 underground books. I don't know if I can show that one. One of them is called Stacia Stories number 1. Station. Stacia Station Kitchen Sink Comics. You ever seen that before? It's a newer book. It's got like a $2.95 price on the cover. And then this one I saw, this was only $2, by the way. And then this is a Robert Crumb book. Does that say Keystone? Your Keystone Comics? Is that what it says? And this is a first printing. But that's some Crumb. That's some Crumb stuff on there. And that one was only $3. And then I picked up some magazines. But these magazines are going to be for a different show or a different video that I'm doing. I will show you one that I thought was very interesting. It was only $3. I think this has to be some type of fanzine. This is issue number 2 of Flake. Is it just Flake? Yeah, Flake. And then this is a cereal box collecting magazine. That's what it says on there. Cereal box collecting magazine. Now, it's super thin. It's thinner than a regular comic book. It feels like it's maybe 4 pages total. This is issue number 2 from 1990. Let's take a look in here. I'm probably gonna pass this along to somebody. If you're one of my people who know me well and you might be interested in this, let me know. But it looks like it's actually stapled together. Okay, so that's the front. And this is what the back looks like. The complete boxography and price guide. 1890 to the present. General Mills, Kellogg's, Nabisco, Post, Quaker. A Mr. Cereal Box publication. Holy mackerel. That's a lot on it. Yeah, so check this out. It's got editorials, box talk. Let's see what else is in here. This is pretty interesting. So it's featuring these different types of cereal and whatnot. Different types of articles. It's about, how many pages is this? It's like 10 pages. Oh, yeah, about 10 pages, 10, 11 pages. Hey, cereal box collecting. I had no idea. This will make a nice little addition to someone's collection. I was more curious than anything. I'm over it now. If you one of the homies and you're interested in this, let me know. Okay, so some of these magazines I'm saving for a separate show coming up. So they didn't have my Crownsville, so I went over to Ash Avenue Comics. I don't know how much. I've shown hauls from Ash Avenue before because they have some really good dollar boxes in there. I bought one box, or one book, I should say, that was retail, and the rest came out of their dollar boxes. Thank goodness I did find issue number 4 of Crownsville there. They only had one copy, and I was asking them about it, like, hey, is this book selling for you? Or, because I was like, how come the stores are out? Like, nobody seems to have this book, but it's because it wasn't selling. People weren't ordering. So, the guy that was there even looked it up and said that they had only ordered one copy for the shelf, and here it is. So, I just want to collect the run. Like I say, I rock with Rodney Barnes heavy. And one issue left out of that 5-run, that series or whatnot. Yeah. So the rest I'm going to show you came out of the dollar box. Now I flipped through this. I really enjoyed the artwork in here. This is from Advent Comics. Never heard of Advent. Issue number 1 is Southside. And that's exactly what it looks like. This book has a kind of a funny story behind it. I just decided to pick this up. I've seen this book like at least a couple years ago, and basically because it was in the 50-cent box, I decided to pick it up. This is issue number 1 of Thug Menace. Here's a book. I found a few copies of this, and I looked through it, and I really enjoyed the artwork in here. And I may have to go and find the rest of these. This is a book called Unfollow, and it is a vertical book. So, I mean, the art was cool, but the storyline definitely kind of had me. This is issue number 3. I found issue number 5. Here's issue number 6. And then I found issue number 7. At first, I had passed these up, because 7, I saw that first. And just based off of the cover, I was like, nah, that doesn't look like anything I'd be interested in. But then, which one of these? I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it might have been this cover that made me go, well, let me flip this book open and see exactly what's in here. And, yep, this was the one I flipped open, and I'm trying to show a page I can actually show you. It's a lot of gore. Looks like it's some military stuff in here. Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, anyway, so I picked up 4 issues of Unfollow. I'm going to check that out. Here's a book that I only have one other copy of, and I figured if I come across some other ones, I'll pick them up. But this is issue number 2 of Gun Honey. And the first one that I picked up, I also got out of I think I got it out of the 50-cent box, either 50 cent or dollar box. So yeah, I got another copy. Check that out. This one had really cool art in it. At first I thought I found 2 different copies of this, but they were both the same issue of number 1, just with different covers. This is Golden Rage. Am I saying that right? Yeah, Golden Rage. Really cool book. Here's a book that I found. I found a real thick copy of this book. And I thought I liked the story. I want to read more. And this is issue number 1 of the Tin Can Society. When I opened that up and I flipped through it, I figured this was a part of the real thick one I got. I think I got it for $1. I want to say Samurai Comics had them, and they have these new books by the door, and it's like if you make any kind of purchase, you can buy one of those books for $1. So I think it was one of them, but mine is like really thick, and I just figured, I don't know, that this was the same, but when I flipped it open, I didn't recognize anything. But the thick book that I got, that I have shown on a former video, I really enjoyed it, and I wanted to see more. And I also found issue number 2 of that, and I almost feel like I got these already. Almost like I showed them before, but I'm not sure. But I'm definitely going to check this out. I might just read these tonight. And, oh, here's another issue number 18 of Farmhand. So I'm slowly but surely knocking that run out. And last but not least, I found issue number 3 of The Devil's Highway. I do believe I need 2 more issues to finish that run. It's only a 5-issue run on there. So I think I need number 1 and number 5 to finish that. And then this is Devil's Highway Volume 2, number 4. And this does finish the run, the Volume 2 run. So now I can read that book. Yeah, right. One of these days I can read that book. I might take some time this weekend and try to do some organizing and maybe put a lot of these runs in order and in alphabetical order. So we'll see how far I get with that. So yeah, that's about it for right now. That's just a run from one day, 2 different stores. And yeah, that's what I picked up. Cool. I don't always do haul videos when I make purchases because, yeah, you know, sometimes I'm just picking up 1 or 2 books or a few. I try to wait until I accumulate a good number of them before I actually, you know, decide to make a video. But I thought this was cool enough to make a video for. And I hope I showed you guys some interesting titles. All right? That's it for right now. This is Daryl D. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys soon on Daryl D TV. Peace and love. All right, hold up. This is part 2. You know, when I put these comic books together, I grabbed them. I felt like there should have been a whole lot more. I just felt it. And oh shoot, I've got this one. Okay, hold it. Back with part 2. You know, when I put these comic books together today for this video, I felt like it should have been a lot more. I mean, it was more than a few, but I just felt like it should have been a lot more. And I was looking all over, making sure I had everything. But when I got done with the video, I'm walking through the crib and I find another whole stack of books that should have, you know, I should have had prepared. So this is what else I got. Now, just as a quick glance, these are some books that I got from Champion Comics. It's been, you know, maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks since I've been in there. So I had to stop in there and, you know, see what was going on. And let me tell you something. Yeah. He has a whole lot, a ton more of dollar books that I went through, and I pulled some really cool stuff out of there. Now, a lot of this stuff I'm definitely going to read, but I can tell you right now, I may be getting rid of a lot of this stuff. But anyway, let me show you what I got. If I'm not mistaken, this entire stack all came from Champion. So let's take a look at what I got. First up is issue number 8 of Hot Stuff. Now, you guys know that I love my hot stuff. Let me get a closer look at that. You guys know I love my hot stuff. I did the video where I found issue number 1, my holy grail for Corbin books. And let me just take a second to talk about Champion Comics. Let me say this. First of all, there's another local YouTuber here. I'm sorry I cannot recall what his channel is, but he also went into Champion Comics and made a video, and there were some things that were shared on that video that Phil shared, the owner, shared on that video that wasn't shared on, my videos. I've done probably 5 or 6 Champion Comic videos, at least 4 or 5 maybe. But anyway, go check out his video. And this dude spent $10,000 in there because he's also like a heavy comic dealer. So he made a really cool video. I'll try to find it and stick it, put the link down there. But he made a really cool video, and then he spent like 10 grand. And the video's cool. Go check it out. Anyway, also, so Phil Champion, there's so many books in there. He's in the process of going through all of his comic magazines, getting them all organized, and putting them all out in the boxes for sale. I can't even wait for this to happen, because if he's going to go through everything, that's going to be incredible. In addition to that, on some of my videos, I'll just go through these random boxes in his shop. Boxes underneath tables, put away stuff that the public doesn't even have access to. So I was in there last weekend, and I believe it was last Tuesday, and I found like 3 or 4 magazine boxes, and I looked through them, and just the stuff. I wish I had my camera on me at the time. It was unbelievable, some of the stuff. There was a whole magazine box that was full of nothing but fanzines. That's it. Just fanzines I'd never heard of from all over the place. It was crazy. And then there was another box I'm flipping through, and that Hot Stuff book that I showed you on a past video, I found issue 1 and 2. I found another issue of number 1, only the second one I've ever seen out in a while, and it was in mint condition. Unbelievable. I was like, wow. I pulled out some Frank Frazetta stuff that was just insane. Just the most insane Von Bodie stuff. It was crazy. It was absolutely nuts, just the stuff that I pulled out that I've never seen before. That it's like, how did you get your hands on this stuff? Man, I've been in comic book shops, at comic conventions for many, many years. And the stuff just in that one store is more impressive than anything I've ever seen in any other comic book shop that I've ever been in my entire life. More impressive than anything that I've ever seen at an actual comic book show, a convention or whatever. Those are big words. Trust me, but his books are insane. What he has in that shop is simply insane. I hope that all of you guys get a chance to go into that store at some point and do a little digging. Not just what's on display, but a little, talk to Phil, have him tell you some stories about this, that, or the other thing. The horror books that I've never seen before in there. The sci-fi books and magazines that I've never heard of. The romance comics that I've never seen before. Just simply incredible. Come to Phoenix, Arizona, and check that place out. Tell him Daryl D sent you. Okay, back to the video. This is what else I pulled out of the dollar boxes. So this was what, number 8. This is Hot Stuff number 7. This is a big, thick book. Look how thick this book is. Big, thick book called Wild Cards that I pulled out of there. Looks pretty decent. Oh, here's, speaking of Frank Frazetta, I've never seen this before, but this is issue number 2 of the Masterwork series of great comic book artists. And this one features Frank Frazetta. You ever seen that? There's another issue of number 7 that I found. These are some really, really crazy books. And when Phil was tallying me up, he said, hey, these kind of issues that you got, this stuff, he said, I have a ton of this stuff. So check out some of these titles, okay? So these indie titles. This is something called Bliss, issue number 2. And this is actually an autograph by somebody affiliated with that book. Issue number 2 of Jinx. This looks like some type of indie book. See how much smaller it is? It might just be a zine. It looks like just a mini comic book. This is called Whispers and Shadows, number 6. I mean, check that out. Another Hot Stuff. I don't know. Shimmadar, I guess. Issue number 1 from Eternity. Oh, and here's number 2 of that book. Oh. Number 3 of this book. And number 4 of this book. Then we have issue number 1 and 2 of Damn Them All. I actually thought I had this book already. That's not a part of this stuff. Let me show you this indie stuff. This is issue number 1 of Dark Adventures. Issue number 1 of Cat and Mouse. We have, this is a real thick book. It's just called Frost. Does any of this stuff look familiar to you guys? This is all, I've never seen any of these books. Let's save this one. Let's see if I got, okay, here's one. This is called Laser, I can't even read this. Laser, I can't even read this, but it's issue number 1. Let me take this out of this bag. I believe this is Eclipse Comics. What does that say? I'm not sure. Laser something. But I do believe I saw like a, I want to say I saw a whole run of those. There was more than one copy. I just grabbed number 1. Here's something called Doomsday Squad from Fantagraphics. Number 0 of Adventures. Is that it? There's actually a stamp of a comic shop in Illinois, Metropolis, Illinois, home of Superman. That might be some, I don't know. But here's something called Fantasy. Is it fantastic science fiction? I don't know. Issue number 1. Something like that. And okay, so that's like the crazy indie stuff. Here's what else I picked up. Issue number 1 of Jessica Jones. I'm not sure if that's the first Jessica Jones book ever. Probably not. Here is issue 3 and 4 of A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. And I'm sure that I've shown you this book. I don't recall what issue, but I know I showed you that book before, or at least an issue from that book. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 issues out of a 7-issue run of a book called Rags. There's 1. There's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. There's 5. And there's 6. And I don't have 7. I didn't see 7 in there. These are all a buck a piece. Yeah. That's it. Okay, so that's the other books I just came across that should have been a part of the, Anyway. All right, I'm out. Peace.